Hey everybody. So, I got a little into this game before I realized that my reading was really bad, and it just wasn't coming together good. Give me 1 second here. Hey you, wake up. And and I decided to just restart it. With a great introduction, obviously. Welcome to Seduce Me, Simon's Revenge. It's nothing like my butler, thankfully, and I won't need a celebration cookie, because this is all the reward I need. Look at little Simon in the back there with his little knife. God. Why did you give that thing a knife? Alright, let's begin. Our name. Obviously. Can you guess? Yeah. I expected many things to happen in my life. I expected to graduate, follow my dreams. Eventually. And live a happy life with the person I grew to love. Well, I got just that with my absolutely adorable incubus, Matthew. Matthew and I had been together for a year. We were happy and we were in love, thank God. Everything was perfect between us. Being with Matthew was like a dream come true. We would design the toys for the Anderson Toy Company together, and whenever we were free, we would play video games until the pillows of our bed called us to sleep. Again, that sounds like the perfect, I said again because I said this in the first take, but it sounds like the perfect relationship and the perfect life. Like, why can't I do that? I always woke up with a goofy grin on my face and would go to bed as happy as a kid after a day full of fun. That was the joy that I got being with Matthew. Oh, I get little hiccups now. I'm too excited. I gotta calm down. However, there were a couple of times in my life with Matthew where life wasn't totally full of laughter. I beg to differ.
Simon! Get back here!
Just a little pitter-patters on the feet. There he goes again! Matthew? Simon, our dear pet of sorts, was always a handful and managed to add a little spontaneity to our days. Often he'd run around the mansion exploring new nooks and crannies and finding little gems for his treasure hoard in the corner of the kitchen. However, sometimes that wasn't enough. He'd start going after Matthew's things. Making things disappear one by one underneath Matthew's nose. Being busy and distracted, Matthew would never notice until the amount of missing items piled up to noticeable standards. And sometimes it took a lot of theft to get Matthew's attention.
Give that back, Simon!
I don't see him giving that back in the near future. Matthew, wait, hold on. What did he take this time? You look a little shocked there, Matthew. Usually I was able to help, but for some reason, Simon imprinted himself on me, treating me with a fair amount of respect and obedience. Whenever it came down to getting something for Matthew from Simon, I was always the mediator between the man and the toy. Right. This time, though, Matthew wasn't as eager to get my help.
Uh-huh? No, I got it.
Do you?
Simon!
Do you? Alright. Bye. Before I could ask why, Matthew was off in a cartoon-like chase with Simon on the second floor. I had to take a moment to absorb what had just happened. Simon's got something dirty. I can't wait to— I hope it's dirty and not romantic, honestly. Because that'd just make it really funny. Did Matthew really say no for help with Simon? It was practically unheard of. Simon was like his mortal enemy of the house now that Sam was gone. If anything, Matthew always called on backup just to even the playing field with Simon. But the little furball was known for not playing fair. I stood there for a small second, listening to the distant sound of Matthew running around and crashing into things. Thanks to Simon, no doubt. Flabbergasted! To my dismay, Simon's antics and odd change in Matthew's behavior didn't end there. At one point, it apparently grew to its worst. This music always just puts me off. Matthew was baking again in the kitchen. The smell of sugar and vanilla practically invaded my senses as I walked into the room. Can I lick this spoon? I was more excited to see my incubus meticulously— I don't know that word. I know that word, I just can't say that word. Measuring out ingredients. A part of me wondered why he didn't become a baker or a pastry chef. I don't know. Can you see him as a baker, guys? I guess he was happy working for his brother at the toy company. Aww. Somehow that part of Matthew made me smile a bit, knowing he was helping my grandfather's company grow. I shook my thoughts out of my head and let the sweet air completely consume me. Consume what? Oh, your thoughts? Your brain? What? Your thoughts? Lost in the guesses roaming my mind of what Matthew could have been making. So that smells good. Can I still lick the spoon?
Huh? Thanks. I'm almost done. I'm just looking for—
Uh-oh. So, who's the voice actor for him?
Simon!
I gotta look at the credits after that. Simon, Matthew, jeez, watch out! You're in the kitchen, knives everywhere, jeez 'em.
Huh?
And there he goes. Sinking into hell, apparently. Simon was off running around again, his toy knife in one paw, somebody get that away from him, and a small cake-like square pastry in the other. Despite the bluntness of the toy knife, the gleam gave it an off-scared... What? Gave off a scare... What? The gleam it gave off... Scare... Okay, I'm sorry, for some reason that just messed me up. The gleam it gave off scared us into forgetting that, causing us to duck and weave out natural instinct. Oh, that's what he did. He didn't sink into hell. Don't worry, guys. I'd only proceeded to help Simon flee in his crime scene and unsheared Matthew to follow in rage. Bye.
I swear to God, Simon!
Matthew, hold on. One arm on Matthew's urged him to stop and listen. Despite the red flesh that proceeded to paint over his face from that building anger in his body, I had to admit it was adorable seeing him so angry, but I didn't want him to become a volcano of rage thanks to Simon. Goodness. What did he take? We can just get or make more.
Huh? No, it's fine. I just need to get him. It's okay.
What is going on? What did he take? Matthew, just tell me what it is.
I...
Spit it out! Spit it out! We only have so much time! Do it again. Do it again. I want that to be my ringtone whenever I get a text. Do it again. God, it's so fucking cute. At that moment, the red flesh in Matthew's face instantly paled, and he almost looked as white as snow in shock and fear. Fear? What? Oh my! Oh God! Hold on, let's go back to the. Yeah, it's okay. That's lighthearted. It's fine. It's fine. Don't worry, Matthew. You're fine. No need to go all yellow-dyed and blue tint on me. It only lasted for a moment before his entire body almost began to glow and urethral blue tint and his eyes began to flicker gold. Boy.
Simon!
Wait, nope. Nope. Okay, bye. That singular noise of Simon's caused my incubus to rush out of the kitchen without answering me and sprint across the mansion towards the sound. I followed close behind, barely able to keep up with Matthew's speed. We are so going to lose a pet today. He's so dead. When we arrived outside in the backyard, Matthew skidded to a stop, but completely frigid. I rushed up behind him and looked over his shoulder, wondering what froze him so stiffly. At the base of the gazebo, still a funny word, sat Simon, crumbs surrounding his body as he licked his lips joyfully, you little shit. His tail swung back and forth in victory as Matthew fell to his knees in some sort of humiliating defeat. Matthew, what's wrong? The look on Matthew's face was completely upset and bursting at the seams of anger. However, I could tell Matthew was holding himself back from straight out doing something stupid. Just do it, man. Just do it. Just get it over with. We can get a fish. Don't worry. Matthew knew better than to let his anger control him. I, however, did not appreciate Simon's gaze. I did not appreciate Simon's gay friends. There we go. Simon's games pushing that limit. I glared at the white doll squirrel thing and stepped forward, catching Simon's attention. Unlike Matthew, Simon would remain obedient with me. I didn't want to be harsh, but I had to give him some sort of punishment for eating Matthew's pastry. Oh, you little... I grabbed Simon by the scruff of his neck and tossed him as far as I could, causing him to squeak and lifted him to my eye level. You are in very deep trouble, mister. Simon. Simon let out another squeak, but it didn't fight back, oh my gosh, as I marched with him straight back to the mansion and into the dining room, where a nice Cade sat at the end of the dinner table, cause why not? Inside were many things to keep Simon occupied, but it was indeed where he would remain until later. You're grounded, mister. I opened the cage and gently placed him inside, quickly slipping my hand back out and locking the door so he couldn't escape. Simon looked at me with a blank expression before almost shrugging and hopping onto the hamster wheel inside. Okay. You're not coming out until Matthew says so, right? Got it. Despite my question, Simon kept running on the hamster wheel, causing me to sigh and return to Matthew. Oh boy. Matthew had come back inside and was sitting on the steps of the grand staircase, still looking very down and about the situation. I grimaced and lifted his head slightly, almost heartbroken at the sight of his puppy eyes. Hey, how about we go to the Pink Lady Cafe for a bit, My treat. Can we go to a little manlier cafe, please? I mean, I know he's small and tiny and looks like he could be a yaoi kind of character. But come on. Can't we go to, like, the Blue Lady Cafe? Because Matthew remained silent for a moment before nodding and standing. He wasn't smiling yet, but at least he wasn't completely downtrodden. Never seen that before. Fly just flew in front of my face. How dare you? How dare you? Whoa. Whoa. It's, why does that head thing look familiar to me? You can't see my cursor, but that logo of the head woman. The head woman. You know what I'm talking about. It looks familiar to me for some reason. I feel like I've seen it somewhere before. But I just don't know where. When we arrived, we ordered our favorite treats and sat at one of the tables. The cafe was recently renovated to look more modern, and it definitely showed in the decor. Yeah, it has changed. Despite this, Matthew still didn't look like he was feeling better. What was it, honey? Matthew, Simon's in his cage. It's alright now.
Well,
he ain't coming out.
I mean, it is, but it isn't.
It is, but it isn't. Make up your mind, boy. What do you mean? Matthew bit his lip and dug a bit into the strawberry cake, refusing to answer. I could only press my lips together in irritation. What was Matthew hiding from me? Matthew. He lifted his head and looked up at me. Please tell me, what did Simon take from you? Another moment of silence passed before Matthew sighed and slouched back into his chair. What surprised me was his face brightening to a peach pink.
That's
I'm sorry, what was that? What?
It's fine.
Nope, that does not help me, boy. You added a J in there. What? Matthew, I am not understanding what you're saying.
It's a ring,
Oh,
okay?
God, jeez.
It's a ring. A proposal ring.
Damn it, I was hoping it was something dirty. Oh, man. No, wait, I'm supposed to be surprised. A proposal ring? Oh, what?
I found a gold ring in Simon's stash when he dug up trinkets from your grandfather's study, and it seemed to be the same size as other rings you have. And,
okay.
Hey, maybe
Whoa.
it was a family heirloom or something. So I wanted to use it in a cake to propose to you.
Just
but Simon apparently got mad that I took it, so he's been screwing up my plans.
Honey, shh, it's okay. It's okay, you don't have to go full paragraph on me. Matthew, just, God, hold on. Matthew's face was as red as a tomato at this point, but he looked up at me, digging himself into his shirt. He's just going within himself, digging himself into his shirt and sweater like a shy turtle. Put your hood on. I could tell he was holding back from exploding somehow, but that would be a shame. But he stared, stopping himself from rambling further. I myself was unsure of how to handle this. He wanted to propose to me with a ring he found in the house? Yeah, you got all that from that paragraph. And Simon pretty much ate the ring. Well, I know what I'm gonna have to do when I get home. Or he ate the cake pastry it was hiding in and hid it from me and Matthew? Well, I don't even know. Still, Matthew wanted to propose. That's so sweet. I just can't. I could not help but hear my heartbeat escalate to a rapid tempo in my chest. I was beyond happy and joyful, and despite not being asked yet, and despite the situation Matthew was in now, I was more than excited for the future ahead. Girl, you hadn't even seen it yet. You don't even know what we went through. Felt my eyes start to water as a smile grew on my face. Stretching wide with pure joy, Matthew's eyes widened. I love that face. It's literally a whelp face. Matthew's eyes widened at the sight, and he straightened up a bit in worry.
Hey, are you okay?
I am perfectly fine. Beautiful. Fantastic. I'm glowing. Matthew. I rubbed my eyes and face, trying to calm down from my ever-growing excitement. Matthew hadn't proposed yet, just yet, and the surprise was, in essence, ruined. But I was beyond thrilled to know that we were going to take those steps in our relationship. As I lowered my hands at last, I grinned at Matthew. I love you so much, you cute little pig pie. I don't know. I for some reason, Pinkie Pie came to my mind, and I'm like, you know what? No, isn't that like a My Little Pony? And I don't want to go there. You cutie pie. How's that? Is that good? I'm not good with pet names. Matthew stared at me, completely dumbfounded. I didn't want to mention his proposal plans anymore, not wanting to ruin his day further, so I simply laid out my love. Yep, hoping he would understand my intent. I'm sure he does, don't worry. I was willing to wait as long as it took for him to make things perfect. Matthew finally smiled and laughed a bit.
I love you too.
Oh, God. What did I do? Where are we? What is like... There we go. No.
I love you too.
Alright, how do I... Shoot, I forgot. Is it... Boop. There we go. Look at that fork. As smiles. Pure joy. Okay. I gotta snapshot this. Boop. For myself. There we go. For reasons. The air around us finally eased, and we were back to our joyous energy we shared so proudly as a couple. Matthew ate with a little more excited vigor as I watched thoughts of the future spiraling in my head. Sorry, hiccups. So I guess you'll be finding another way to propose for me, huh? Gonna make it up to me, Matthew. Matthew took a moment and nodded to himself with a chuckle.
Well, my first plan was ruined by Simon.
Mm-hmm.
I have to try something else and really sweep you off your feet.
Yeah, what are you gonna do, a flying ring? Matthew, you already do, even though you're so short. Matthew blushed and chuckled a bit, stuffing a piece of pastry in his mouth before swallowing it in pride.
I promise to make you the happiest person in the world.
You already have.
Okay?
Yes. Yes, honey, you already have. I know you will. Aw. Oh no, it's over! I don't want it to be over! Want to do it again and pretend it never happens? I want to do it again. I'm sad. I want there to be more. I like this game. This game doesn't make me cringe. Ugh. It's when I stop playing the game is when I realize how much I miss it. Oh, well, I hope you guys enjoyed this. I know a lot of people already did it because I didn't know it was out until somebody told me on a stream. I'm more mad at myself than anything for not checking. I usually check it every week, but I'm just like, it'll take a while. Apparently not. Anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed this. I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye-bye.